Hi guys and welcome. Today we're going to make a flip out folder. So I've made this beautiful one with this vibrant paper. We're going to be making one very similar. So it's got a belly band closure on it. So if I just open it up, you can put something there like another pocket or something. I just didn't want to put too much bulk on it. So in here we've just got some ephemera, so a journaling card and some bits and pieces. We've got a label on the side there, so that's an inside pocket. We've got another pocket on the front here where we've just got some extra journaling space of some coffee dyed paper. So a good way to use up your scraps if you've got any offcuts with your coffee dye paper as well. And then if we flap that forward, then we've got a notebook in here that's suspended off a belly band. I'll just take that off. So it's suspended off a belly band there, which is a great idea to hold it in place. And then over the side here we've got a side tuck, and then we've just got some ephemera in there like a to-do list and a tag with a big label on it, which I made, and I'm going to be making some more of those because I've used them all up now. Tuck that back in there. All right, so let's get started. I've pre-cut everything, but I will be going through the sizes with you, and I will also have the sizes down in the description for the pieces if you wanted to make one of these yourself or have a go at it. And if you don't have exactly what we've used today, then just substitute it for something that you do have. All right, so the cardstock, which is your base, it is 5 inches by 12 inches, so the length of a 12 by 12, and then you score it at 4 inches and 9.5 inches, and then it will fold up like that. So have a look at your paper and the direction of your paper as to, you know, what you want to feature on the flap coming over. If you're using something that, you know, you get one of these that's upside down, you can then cover it with a different paper just to, you know, you don't want something that's upside down. Just fix that score up a bit. Grab my bone fold up. All right, so that's the actual cover, and then we've got the flip out pages there, and they measure 5 1/4 across by 5 high. And the reason we want the extra quarter, I've scored it already, is because we're going to be adhering it to the inside there. So I'll just fold those over. And you may need to snip just a little bit off, or you could score it in a little bit. I'll just take a little bit off that in a minute. Let's fold the other one over. And once again, choose what papers that you want to use for these, because one of them are going to feature as your front cover, which I've chosen this one. So this one I'll be putting over to the left here. And then this one I'll be putting over to the left, and this one over to the right, because I fold the left first and then I fold the right, and then the top goes down over the top. Or you could go this way if you didn't want to feature too much of the pattern and just wanted to feature that top flap there. But I actually like the vibrancy of the paper on this one. So let me just cut a fraction off those sides, just so it doesn't catch when you fold it in. And I've just taken a slither, as you can see. Now that could be a couple of reasons for that, in that I may not have scored it right at 1/4 of an inch, or my cutting may have been slightly out when I cut the 5 by 5 1/4. And as you can see, it goes not quite to the edge, so we want a little bit of a gap there. And the same with that one. So we're going to glue those ones down. We're going to glue on the outside here and then press it on the inside. Now you will see the join. It's up to you then if you wanted to put a back piece over to cover the join or some washi tape. We're going to have a notepad over that, so you're not really going to see it. Take it down near your score line down the bottom here, because we want some room up the top. So we want to make sure that it closes. Yep, not quite down to it. And then we've got this one over here, and we want to make sure it's the same across and lines up. And you can line it up over the side here. Just make sure that it's straight. Just down a smidge while you've got a little bit of wriggle room left, because we don't get much with the art glitter. And it just folds over like that. And then to test it, you've got your bottom one, your top one, your top one. So this one will need just a smidge off the side as well. And you can eyeball that. It's not too bad that side. I think that side pushes it a little bit. So I'll take just a smidge off this side as well, just to even it up. Because we don't want to cut it all off the one side, it just makes it uneven. And as you can see, it's just the smallest amount that we're cutting off there. Try it again. Lovely. And now, that closes. All right. And then we're going to decorate it. So let's look at putting some pockets and some tucks in here. Now I am going to ink it today, but I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm actually going to go with a green, so I'm going to use Bundled Sage Distress Oxide, just to highlight it a little bit, not too much, but more importantly it just gets rid of the white edges, because on folders, you know, we're folding that many layers and that we don't want a white edge to stick out at us. So it's just a very slight inking. And then we're going to get our inside belly band. I'm going to snip a little bit off that one. So the inside belly band is 5 inches by 1 1/4. So if we just go a slither under the 5, just to make sure, and you don't even have to go right across if you don't want to on that. It just has to be wide enough to be able to hook your notepad over. And we want it down a little bit, because you know, you can have it down to about there, I think. Ink that up, because we want a bit of room to be able to tuck the notepad in, and the notepad's going to have a bit of about 1 inch header on it. So you can see the Bundle Sage, because I'm working with greens in my cardstock or my pattern paper, it just highlights it a little bit more. So belly band, we just want to glue either side like that. And then I've just got it down a bit. Hopefully that's straight. I can't get my head over the top there. Okay, so let's make the notebook. Now I've got just 4 pages of coffee dyed paper, and they measure basically 4 1/4 across and 5 inches down. So as you can see, we just want it to fit. We don't want it too long, and then we don't want it too wide because we've made a belly band, so we want it to be able to be tucked in the middle there. Now I will just grab my tiny attacher and staple that together just to secure it. You could run a bead of glue along each page and glue it up the top, but stapling is definitely faster. And then we want to put the cover on it. Now you can just put a folded bit of cardstock across the top. I actually like a back plate on these notebooks because we're actually hanging it, hanging it off a hinge type of thing, like a belly band. So it just gives a bit more stability by having it a little bit thicker than normal coffee dyed paper. Now this one measures 5 3/4 by 4 1/4, and it's a 1 inch. So we score it at 1 inch for the fold over the top. You can have that as thick or as thin as you like, but I like the 1 inch. I think it's big enough to be able to feature. And then we're just going to glue that onto our coffee dyed paper. I just put 1 bead of glue across the back there because we don't want to lose that last page to journal on. The more journaling space that we have in a journal, the better. Just get my glue. I haven't used it for a few days, but I've been trying to get into the habit of putting the pin on more regularly. Just to save any drying or clotting. That's better. You can use a glue stick there too. I like the art glitter because it does dry quicker. Now this one I will have to cut some off the bottom, which is fine. Actually, I'm going to move that over and I'm going to cut some slightly off the side too. Because we're working with scraps, they're not always going to be exact. And just eyeballing that. You can run it through the trimmer, but just eyeballing it. And then we're going to run another bit of glue across the back there. Now that's working a bit better. Before we hang it off the belly band. And then you just get your back piece like that and put through the belly band, and there we go, is the notebook. You can obviously add some more decoration to that, a label or a butterfly or something. I'm actually going to leave it flat. I don't want too much bulk in here. Now this bottom one, we're actually going to put a pocket on it. So let me grab the pocket for that, which I do have one cut. And this one measures 5 inches. Basically everything across is 5 inches and 2.5 inches. And I may need to take a snippet off that because we've taken a snippet off everything else. And I'm going to cut just a notch out of that. Just going to eyeball it in the center there, and then we're going to ink it. I really love inking with a different color for a change. You sort of, you know, all your browns and that, as beautiful as they are, they all start to look the same after a while, and having a beautiful paper like this to work with sort of opens up your imagination a little bit. So then we're just going to adhere that in there. So I always put my thumb on the side I don't want to glue. That way you don't have to think too much about it. And most pockets and tucks, you're gluing 3 sides. That's a good way to help remember. Good with the old muscle memory. That's one pocket. Now this side, we're going to put a pocket at the front here, and we're going to put a tuck on this side. So I've got 2 pieces that are cut that are, let me find my measurements. They're 5 inches down and they're 2 2/16, so just basically a little bit over 2 inches. You can go 2.5 inches if you want to. I just wanted to utilize the scraps because I was trying to just use the one 12 by 12. Sometimes that's not always possible. And then just work out which way your paper wants to go. And then I'll put a notch in the tuck as well. And then we'll just quickly ink that up. Especially on your edges, because they're going to the outside of your folder. They will show, and we don't want white edges showing. And then with this one, thumb on where we don't want to ink it, don't want to glue, and then we just glue. Try and stick as close to the edge as possible. It gives you more tuck space. Beautiful. And then over here on this one, the pocket. Now this one might need a bit of a trim, just a slight one. I'll take it on the inside. So it's not hard to play around with it a little bit if it only needs, you know, a slight bit off. Beautiful. Now we're just going to add some ephemera before we make our outside belly band. So I've actually picked out some pieces just to tuck in here, but you can put anything actually in your pockets. You don't have to have exact of what I've got, but I've just put some like botanical types of things in there. And they're all obviously extra journaling spots. Might ink that one. We want to put some labels on there, so I've just picked out a couple similar to excuse me, I'm getting over a bad virus so I've still got the cough and the throaty thing going on, so I do apologize. I haven't talked too much for the last couple of days because it sort of makes you cough. But I wanted to get a video done for you guys today. All right, let's glue that one down. So the labels are so much fun. You can have blank ones, you can have printed ones. I've got various ones I've made myself, which is like this one. And then I've got some Tracy Fox Love Junk Journal ones. I can't remember the name of the other place I found, but I'll try and remember that and link it down the bottom. But the beauty of digitals is you can reprint them. It's a once-off purchase, and then you can print them as much as you like. So you can actually be quite generous with your labels. Now the middle one, we're going to do a bigger label, sort of off to the side. Ink it a little bit. And these ones, like I said, I made these ones. They're just stamped on coffee dye paper. I think I used a really cheap China label stamp. So it doesn't stamp that great, but you don't have to have things perfect in junk journaling. And it's good to have variety in your stash. Might ink that one. It's not too bad. I do want to ink this one. And you could have turned, if this was on cardstock, you could put on cardstock and recard that. You could make another little pocket there, or you could have a little side pocket. Just depends on how many pockets that you want to have, because with pockets we add bulk to our project, and you know, we've already got ephemera and stuff that we're putting in, bulking it up anyway. But if you want it bulky, you just make your belly band a bit looser. And that one's just off, I think that's off the Field Notes Stampers Anonymous Tim Holtz stamp set, which I actually use a lot of. All right, and then over to our side one. I've got a piece of ephemera, which is more journaling. Might have to trim a bit off. So little journaling cards in there. And then I thought I'd make a tag. So the tag is, it's 2¼ inches by 4¼ seems to be a fairly standard size that I use. I'm just going to grab my crocodile and punch a hole. I won't put an eyelet in this one today. I normally would put an eyelet, but I'm just going to leave it plain because I don't want to add bulk. And then these big tags that I made, just scrapbooking paper. I think I might have stamped a script stamp on some plain cardstock, and then made them slightly smaller and just cut the edges off. I mean, I have used these so much, I've run out. I want to make some more. So I'm just going to put this one on the tag just as decoration, because your tags are another journaling spot. So this one is light enough, you can still journal on there, and you can journal on the back. But it's just to give it a little bit of contrast, point of interest. And then we're just going to tuck it in the side pocket. You can put some more stuff in there if you wish to. And then we're just going to add a label or some decoration down the bottom here. I've got a hexagon label. I'm not sure whether this one was in the Tracy Fox or the other one that I mentioned. But it's got some beautiful bugs and butterflies, and it come in a few different colours. So I will try and find the link to that one as well, because it's good to have a bit of variety. And then I think I'll just do the butterfly label. But you can put numbers, you could go die cuts, stickers. And it's great to layer your labels as well. So as you can see, I've layered that over there. Oh, didn't use that one. Pop that one off to the side. So you can just feel that that's getting a little bit of bulk to it, sort of down the bottom. One thing we didn't do is our coffee dyed paper. So I've just got, this is the length of an A4 strip that I had left over from a project. So I just folded it up and we'll just put a sticker on the front there. I've just picked out this daisy sticker. You don't have to put a sticker on there. You could stamp something on there. I'm going to see if I can get this sticker off. Sometimes they cause you a little bit of grief. There we go. And they're a paper sticker, so you know, you could journal over the top. It's not a problem at all. But I just thought a nice little feature there, just so you don't have plain coffee dyed paper, and staying with the botanical theme as well. Just move that one over so it doesn't get caught. And now we're going to make the outside belly band. So I just pop that one off to the side. Now you need, I've done 2 strips of cardstock for this one. So if I just grab, I don't know what I did with the belly band. Oh, here it is. So one's just a feature. So these are just the length of an A4 bit of paper, and then when you wrap them around, you can snip some off. But what I'm going to do is just ink the craft cardstock, and being the Distress Oxide, it will feature it. Even though I'm using the Bundled Sage green, it just gives it a really beautiful smudgy hint of green. I hope you can see that. So I hope this inspires you to drag out your different coloured inks and have a play around with them, guys, rather than just using your same old, your favourite that we drag out, which mine at the moment is ground espresso, because I like the dark chocolatey look. And then I've got this beautiful recycled paper. It's like a green, olivey green. So I'm just going to glue that in the middle of the craft cardstock. But you could, if you only had a plain bit of, say, cream or white cardstock, you could stamp some beautiful leaves or something on it. Just make sure that's down. And then we get our beautiful little folder. And we don't want it too tight because we want to be able to slip it on and off quite easily. So once you've got a basic of a fold, just test how easy it's going to slide for you. And then we want to put some glue under. So as you can see, we've got a bit of a join there. So we want to put I might get a longer one actually, because I want to get it more, although that goes the center and it still hides the join. Sometimes you might have to go an extra long label. And that one is a Tracy Fox label. I did buy a few different types, so I don't know the name of it, but she's got some absolutely beautiful labels. And like I said, once you purchase them, you can download them, print them as much as you like. Now I want to get a brad, so I've used gold with that one, so I might go gold again. they've already got a hole in them, so I'm just going to off center and get my brad. And then I'll just twist them around just so they're a little bit off center with each other, because you want to feature the under color as well. Now these are silk flowers that I ordered as hydrangeas, and I got a few different colors, and they come in a head like this, and when I pulled them apart I literally have a gazillion of them. But they're just absolutely, they're just a perfect size to use. And then we just make sure he's in the center. I might just put a dab under there so he doesn't move, since we've got him lined up beautifully. Just hold that down, art glitter will dry. But there you go, guys. Beautiful little flip out folder. So we've got our belly band, we take off the top. You can round the corners there, which I will do just quickly, just to show you something I didn't do. Just does finish it off, as you can see. Yeah, so beautiful little ephemera holder, extra journaling spots with all your coffee dyed paper, your ephemera that you put in, all additional journaling space, because I don't think you can have too much journaling space in any of your little projects. This can go, it can be clipped to a page inside your journal. It can, because we haven't put anything on the front there, it can slip inside a pocket, so be mindful of that. If you wanted to put an extra pocket on the front there, you don't want things that, you know, will tear off when you're putting it inside a pocket. But absolutely stunning. You could put a pocket on the back too if you wanted. It's endless what you can do, but absolutely stunning little project. I hope I've inspired you to have a go at it today. Like I said, I'll put all the measurements down in the description below, and please let me know if you have a go and what you think of it. Very much appreciated. But thanks, guys. Really enjoyed spending the time with you today, and I look forward to seeing you on the next video. Thanks, guys. Bye.